All right, welcome back. Motorsport iRacing, I believe, says this is the first time for the Ray, but I swear we have been here before. I did do a track guide a couple of years ago. This is a really fun track if you are new to it. Being from Canada, I'm going to throw a little Canadiana in this, see if you get all the references. I'll post the answer in the description below. If you get them all, you win a prize. You get to the subscribe button. Um, so this setup, sweet as a maple glaze. We'll get into it. The ride height, if you looked at that thumbnail, I actually bottomed out and wrecked my car. I think that is the first time I've ever done that. The ride height was, I think, at 20 mils. Uh, Front and the rear was maybe 30 or something like that, and wrecked the car. So 24 in the front. I've done many laps. The car does still scrape the pavement. However, it does not get broken because that dip cuts like a knife. ARB is 0. A lot of off-camber corners here, so you definitely do not want a lot of understeer. It's actually hard to get a little bit of the turn in that you want here. Damper compression 20, that's pretty typical. Rebound 0, brake bias 57% for me. For you, it's something different. Not a lot of hard braking here. I might actually try dipping that down to 56%. Ride height or spring rates, low as they go, front and rear. Camber, you know my channel, it's not in unison. 1.9 on the left, 1.5 on the right. The left side is really doing a lot of work. Go with the 1.9 if you want to keep those symmetrical. Toe in 1.3. It's not turned up too high. It's managing the tire temps a little bit, and again, not a lot of heavy braking here, so you don't really need it cranked up too much. Spring rates again, low as they go in the rear. 1.5 camber on the left, 1.2 on the right. Go with the 1.5 if you want to keep those symmetrical, and 0.2 for the toe. Again, just that you don't need a lot of braking assistance and just managing those tire temps. Ride height in the rear, 34 mils. That's so you don't break your car. It is turned up a little bit extra as well, just to increase that rake, just to give the car a little bit more rotation because the ARB is 10. A lot of high-speed corners here. That ARB getting up to into 15 or 20, that back end is really going to step out. So it is at 10. 6 and 18 for the damper compression. That is pretty typical. 13 liters is going to get me to the end. Gas is getting pretty expensive, so put in 14 if you're sweating fuel. It's going to be expensive. That's why everybody's working for the weekend. And hey, my, the gear stack is standard. Now, my last track guide, it was tall. Just for fun, I thought I would give the standard a try, and lo and behold, I was much faster, about 3/10 faster with a standard stack. A big chunk of that is the really big back straight is uphill for most of it, and the tall stack is just not pulling up that hill. In a race, obviously, draft is going to be an issue. So you do reach the rev limit with the standard, but the draft might make the tall worthwhile. But I was just on my own, I was putting in much faster laps with a standard stack, so that was actually quite a surprise. Track is 25 degrees. I've seen it 23, 26, 35% usage as usual. It is going to be overcast, so just make sure you're not wearing your sunglasses at night. We'll get into this at slow-mo and then run it out at full speed. Coming into turn one, looking for this power pole here, turning in nice and gentle, and then just lifting as you get in between the two power poles there. Managing the throttle. In the past, getting inside here of the curb was a thing, but I find that it is too disruptive now with track updates and car updates and such. So right up tight against the curb here, and then you want to be on full throttle well before the apex, and you want to actually do cut in a little bit into this white line here. Watch out though, it is grooved a little bit. It can grab your tire, just so don't panic. Um, Running it all the way out to the curbs here. Curbs is fine, but do not touch this black stuff. This black stuff is deadly if you put a tire on it. You are going to go across the track and smash into this wall. You can bet your last loonie on it. Working your way, or well, still in fourth, just moving over mid-track. I find going all the way over to the right is actually more problematic. Just at the peak of the hill here, lifting, staying in fourth, little bit of brake, just a tickle of the brakes there, and then just managing the throttle, keeping it tight up against that white line on entry, moving out, letting it drift out to mid-track, and then cutting back in. Again, full throttle, very important here. You will lose a lot of time if you come into that hill too hot. Watch out. You are going into that grass. Goodbye, goodbye. You can use that curb on exit. Just watch out for that grass. Looking for the end of the barrier here and the turning of the barrier up ahead, and going to be shifting down into third, and a little bit of brake in the middle of them. There's no real great marker, just in the middle there. Little bit of brake, picking up the throttle nice and early, getting tight up against these curbs. If you run wide here, you will lose a tremendous amount of time. It will really surprise you how much time you lose. Once you've done a few laps, you'll get to know this. You definitely want to be tight up against the curb and obviously on full throttle before the advertising signs here. If you have not done that, you are going to lose a lot of time. And then just letting the car run out. Over to the left-hand side, just straightening the wheels, minimizing the wheel input so you don't scrub any speed, working your way up into fourth, and you're looking for that big C on the Continental sign mid-track. Again, getting way over to the right is more trouble than it's worth, and then just getting the car turned in, staying close to the white line but not right up against it. This whole section here can grab your tire, and it is big trouble. It will send you to the monster hospital. And this is the big dip where I bottomed out and broke my car. When you get to the base of the hill, shifting down into second, hard on the brakes. Again, I find it better to be a little bit more mid-track than all the way over. Hard on the brakes, releasing the brakes as you come up through the climb of the hill, and then just unwinding the wheel. And this basically just takes practice. You want to get all the way over to the left here. You can use a little bit of the curbs, but do not get into that sand. And then picking up the throttle nice and early, very important. Just a little lift just to get the turn in, no brakes needed, and then back on full throttle and use all of the pavement here on exit. Just make sure you're back on track before the grass, otherwise you get that X. And then this is the big uphill climb, and this is where the standard stack really outperforms the tall stack, at least if you're not in a draft. So grab light up your John players and grab a double. It is a long ways to go. This is obviously going to be a great big passing opportunity, so watch out for that. All right, we're here finally. So looking for this second power pole, the second from the end, turning in nice and gentle, a little bit of a lift. You can pass here on the outside. If a guy's going defensive, you can make the pass on the outside. You just have to have a lot of trust that that guy on the inside is not going to wipe you out. So make sure you know who you're going up against. Fourth gear, just managing the throttle at the end of the curbs, shifting down into third. Again, just managing the throttle here. You do not want to be sliding too wide. And then at the end of the curbs here, another lift just to get the car turned in here a little bit. Just managing that throttle, getting tight up against the curbs. You do not want to come in here too hot. You will be compromised for the next corner, and it will cost you a lot. Getting the wheel straight, left side, looking for the advertising board here, and then shifting down into second, no brakes, down into second, tight up against that curb. Make sure you are on the throttle nice and early, and then use all of the curbs here on exit. Again, do not touch this black stuff. It is deadly. It is going to send you into that wall, and that is going to be a 126.1. I think that should be pretty competitive. So good luck out there. I'm Lloyd Robertson. Goodbye.